to you by BTL, the makers of Emsculpt Neo and EMFACE.
Welcome, guys. I'm very excited to announce our first podcast. This is Reveal the Appeal. That's what we're about. We're trying to reveal all the different things that you can get done to improve your life, to improve your health, and take advantage of the one life you have. We got a lovely group of co-hosts here. We're excited to get this off the floor. We want to kind of bring the best of aesthetics, cosmetic surgery, all the different ways to improve the way you look, your health, how you feel. We want to kind of break down the barriers or any of the assumptions of what that could be or why people don't do that or the stereotypes. So my name is Josh Holden. Instagram is HTBJosh. Please follow me. This is my wife, Amanda Holden.
I'm Dr. Amanda Holden. I'm dr.amanda.holden on Instagram, and I am the founder of Holden Timeless Beauty in Southern California. It's a multi-location med spa chain, and I am the proud KOL speaker for BTL and also a GAIN business trainer. So we're going to be bringing some great information to you, and I'm joined by our other co-host, the Cosmetic Lane, so they're going to introduce themselves. Yeah.
My name is Justin Mob, aka the Pretty Privileged Advocate, one half of the Cosmetic Lane. I've been in the aesthetic industry for about 6-7 years, so I've really been working with so many plastic surgeons and doctors from all over the world. And here's my better half, Harmony from the Cosmetic Lane.
I'm actually the better half of the Cosmetic Lane. Simply Harmony on Instagram. I've been in marketing. I worked with TMZ for a while, so I bring in that fun entertainment aspect of the cosmetic industry, I guess. Yeah,
absolutely.
And the whole purpose of us actually creating the Cosmetic Lane was just so that we could educate and inspire more people to break into the industry. So yeah, I'm excited.
So we have a powerhouse team
Absolutely.
to put our minds together and bring you the best that we possibly can. So where are we starting out, guys?
We're starting with the first segment, which is health is wealth, beauty is pain. So I want everyone to kind of share, what is your different habits that you have when it comes to wellness and beauty. So I'm going to start with you, Josh. Tell me one thing that you've done to, improve your health and one thing that you've done to enhance your beauty or aesthetics.
Health is big for me. I grew up in working out. I played sports my whole life. So daily trying to exercise at least 30 minutes a day. So just trying to get into the gym and do something for it helps my mind. It helps me calm down. It helps me get energy throughout the day. I'm a big believer in doing whatever it takes to feel your best while we're on this planet. So I get Botox done. I get it done regularly, probably every 3 to 4 months. The reason why I started getting it done was my wife opened up a medical spa, and she needed someone to start practicing on. So yeah, I get that done regularly. People come up to me and say I look a lot younger than what I really am. I'm 45 years old. No, I'm just joking. I'm in my 30s, and
He's turning 40.
Don't say that yet. Don't say that yet.
You're almost there.
Yeah.
I'm in my 30s.
Yeah. So.
40, September 23rd.
So I get Botox done regularly. I believe in it. I think guys shouldn't be scared of it. I think they should try to go do it. I mean, you have a younger crowd who's, if you're a businessman or if you're trying to, get a job promotion or something like that, people are looking younger now. So why not fit that bill? Why not fit that look? So that's what I believe in.
Okay.
Yeah, and overall, really, it's if it gives you more confidence to look in the mirror and see a younger version of yourself, then why not do it? Yeah. Especially if no one knows you're getting it done, or just talk about getting it done. Mm-hmm. So the things I do, I love to meditate. So I'm huge into the Calm app. I love to do daily meditations. They're about 10 minutes. I save my favorites. Sometimes I'll recycle some. Sometimes I'm just going with whatever the theme is by those that are leading the meditation that particular day. So I love that as far as aesthetics. The latest thing I've done is my cheeks. Katie Martin, our VP of Clinical Operations, did my cheeks recently. I love that little lift that we get with that area.
Interesting.
So, yeah,
okay.
Love cheek filler. So.
Yeah, no, cheek and chin are the most underrated fillers.
They absolutely are.
And
they're trending now.
Right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I've seen so many chin transformations and I'm like, that's crazy just how far your chin can go.
Yep. If you're not looking at proportions, like the facial proportions, you oftentimes miss even recommending it as an aesthetics provider, or maybe you've just gone into an office where they haven't recommended it. So now we're really focusing in on all the proportions, really educating patients, and with education, people start asking about it more too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sidetrack?
Yeah.
Do you ever look at people wherever you are, just look at people and be like, you could use a little bit of this, a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
100%
Every day.
all the time.
Not only does she do it, I do it, and my son comes up and tells
wow.
us. Our little son, Benjamin's 11, he'll walk up to people and go, you need to get Botox. Yeah. So.
He said it, and I was so horrified. I was like,
Oh my
you
God.
cannot say that.
Terrorizing the teachers.
Yeah.
Terrorizing the teachers.
Yeah.
Our son knows way too much about aesthetics.
Yeah.
I love it.
He doesn't want to see wrinkles on a face. He wants somebody to have a soft looking face.
I love it.
Yeah.
So what about you guys? Tell us what you guys are doing.
Well, I started getting back into the gym lately. So I fell off. COVID and just traveling. Everything.
COVID
It was
killed
so
everybody.
hard.
Yeah.
So I'm back in the gym, so at least that. I try my best to wake up in the morning and not be on my phone.
I've heard that's big. A lot of people say if you don't get on your phone for 30 minutes,
I cannot do that.
you're more you're better throughout the day.
I try to do that, just like waking up, and then after that, just literally going outside for a walk and leave my phone inside.
Inside
and
before you touch it,
it actually helps just to have some sort of like visual kind of like you know something to just like wake me up without having to look at the screen. Yeah, but it's hard, because like on a day-to-day basis, you get emails, notification, you want to see what's happening. So
I feel like I feel instantly overwhelmed the minute I look at my phone.
agree.
Yeah.
There's a million different notifications, so I'm like, at least I try now, like in the morning, just to get up and go.
Yeah.
Not focus on the phone, go work out, do whatever, and then come back to my phone.
Have you felt like it's been better since you've started doing that?
Anytime I've done it, it's made a huge difference. I feel like I start my day a lot more calmer.
Nice.
Yeah, so I like that. So that and working out.
okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. So for me, the two things that I've done, I started kind of like you, Amanda. I think I started listening to healing therapy music before going to sleep. So this is like the best frequency of music that you get to listen to before going to bed, and it helps just to have like better dreams. And now sometimes you go to bed and you wake up and you still feel tired.
Yeah.
So I feel like it really made a difference, like in the way I sleep. Just like I get into on YouTube. You just go on YouTube. You put like like healing frequency, or just like there's different type of there's 432. There's 538 hertz, so there's different type of frequency that you get to. Some is for healing, some is like the God frequency. So I guess if you're really into like try to tune in with the higher powers, yeah. So that's something that I've done. I think on the wellness side, on the beauty side, I've done EMFACE, which is the main topic of this episode. So
Are you waiting for it?
yeah, absolutely. So
yeah.
we're going to be talking about that. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've done. So every episode, we're going to make sure that everyone talks about what we're doing when it comes to aesthetics and wellness.
Yeah, and we want you to ask us questions on our Instagram.
Yes.
We love to
Please.
answer those questions. Share with us things that you're doing too.
Yeah.
If you have topics you want us to talk about or things you want us to try, we are all in. So
We want to break that barrier. We want to make sure that you guys feel comfortable going to get stuff done. I mean, aesthetics, cosmetic stuff, it's not scary. Like, I think that's, I don't know, that's the big thing that I hear. Like, you hear husbands go, my wife can't get that because she's going to look like this.
yeah.
Well, that's not the case. Like, a lot of, like, I get stuff done. I mean, we've all announced that we get stuff done. I don't think any of us look like we're overdone, or you could even tell. So I think that's a big thing that for me, that I want to get out there from this show, from our podcast, is that it's okay to get stuff done and be proud of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the biggest misconception is that a lot of people think that we see these crazy overdone botched jobs, and then we think that that's all aesthetics is. It's like, no, great work, you just can't tell,
Yes.
right?
The best work you can't tell. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. So I think that that's what we want to do with this podcast, is really just break that barrier and just let people know, like, that exists. Like, you can get it done and go about your day, and you can
Nobody
still
will
be yourself.
know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Once you realize you can soften the process of aging or slightly enhance your natural beauty, and sit in a chair with somebody you trust, the whole world opens up. And that's what medical aesthetics providers should be doing. That's what, you know, cosmetic surgeons should be doing in the rooms as we have these consults with people. And everybody has a different idea about what they really want to be doing.
Yeah.
There's not one formula for everyone. Everyone should be presented with that which they can do, both surgical and non-surgical, right?
Absolutely.
But there's not one formula for everyone, and we're each individuals. So that ultimately, when we look in the mirror, that's the self we're looking at. And if we want to make ourself look and feel better because we don't like something we see, well, then why not ask about how you can do it?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, honestly.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you can look like you're in your
only have one
20s, yeah, you only have one life.
Yeah.
But if you can make yourself look like you're in your 20s forever, I don't know why you wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Like for me, that I don't know, that may sound vain or whatever, but again, you only have one life, so why not look your best? You know?
Absolutely. That's why that's our motto. You're going to hear us say that a lot.
Yes.
So,
Let's get into it.
let's get into it. I feel like we need a little bit of a drum roll for this next segment. So let's do a drum roll, folks. What are we about to talk about? It is EMFACE, baby.
Oh yeah, coming from BTL.
EMFACE Nation. We have
Yes.
been waiting for this. It's September 17th, okay? We have been wanting to launch this for so long and so excited about what BTL is bringing to the nation and the world. And it's finally here.
Yes, absolutely. I was just gonna say, anybody who's been out there who's afraid to get needles done or get anything done on their face, this is no needles. Like it is the best of all that you could get to come to make yourself look more youthful.
And just to be very clear, it doesn't mean that you're going to throw away all those procedures that you've had that include needles, injectables.
Yeah.
I'm one of the biggest providers, over 50% of my practice is injectables.
Yeah.
I see that as being a combo therapy or a solo therapy. There are so many different ways this can be approached. So what
Please
is it,
get
right?
into it. So tell us
Okay.
what is EMFACE?
All right.
Yes.
So first of all, the first thing you have to understand, if you do not understand facial aging, is you have to understand that over time we have certain things very predictably change in our face. Okay.
Okay.
The first thing is the top layer of the skin. So our skin, our epidermis and our dermis, where the dermis is where the collagen and the elastin are, that's what makes our skin springy and youthful. Okay. The
Okay.
collagen and the elastin. This goes away at a rate of 1% per year after age 18. So our skin is getting older and older and older by the year. So if we are not doing treatments that are increasing the amount of collagen and elastin in our faces, we are going to start to look older. Okay, so that's the skin layer.
Okay.
Next, underneath, the fat pads, which are around our eyes, near our temples, in our mid-face, and our cheeks, even in our lower face, they start disappearing and they actually migrate downwards. They drop. So they're dropping and we're seeing a little less of those fat pads as far as their density. We're also seeing a change in the bony structure. So this is what's holding up the skin, right? And now what else is in those layers? Well, it's muscle. And we have facial muscles everywhere throughout our face. They're tiny little facial muscles. Some are larger than others. Just as an example, our forehead, big flat muscle called the frontalis muscle, and that's responsible for lifting up our eyebrows. It's the only thing that lifts up our eyebrows. And that particular muscle is one of the targets in this treatment. So I want you to now think of our faces falling down
That's
with
funny.
gravity, okay? Everything's migrating down in predictable vectors. So you start seeing the face fall forward. You start seeing these lines form around the lower face and what we call the nasolabial folds or the smile lines. We see jowls form. We see our chin get saggier, and that's a mix of even the platysma connecting into the SMAS. All these are very technical terms, but just imagine the scaffolding, okay? When you're building a house, and you have horizontal and vertical layers of the house and stuffing all throughout that house. When we're youthful, the house has perfect firm structure and is at the proper level, right?
Yeah.
Over time, as we go through damage, the stuffing starts to go away. That's the collagen and elastin. And the house's layers start to fall. And everything starts to fall down, whether it's sinking because of water damage or whatever the house is going through in its lifetime.
So they get face damage?
Well, we lose collagen and elastin, and our muscles actually stretch, okay? And we absolutely get tons of face damage, both external and internal. But our muscles actually stretch and become atrophic. So we go through atrophy, which means just like if you're not doing a bunch of bicep curls in the gym, you know how we lose our muscle mass in that area? Our faces lose muscle mass over time. and we lose that collagen and elastin. So if we're then able to strengthen our facial muscles in supportive areas that can lift that scaffolding and that house back up, and also add back the stuffing, the collagen and the elastin, that is what EMFACE does. So in a very simple way, I'm going to tell you this, okay? That was very detailed.
That was detailed.
EMFACE strengthens the muscles of the face, lifting the facial structures and all of the supporting structures around it, both the skin, the connective tissue, and the muscles, back up into a youthful position. And it also increases the amount of collagen and elastin in the skin, so our skin looks more youthful.
Question wise, I mean, what does it feel like? Like when you get it done, what can someone expect? Is it hurt? Is it not hurt? Do you need to be numbed?
So no numbing at all. It's a 20-minute treatment session. Each treatment package is 4 sessions divided 5 to 10 days apart.
Okay.
You simply have a grounding pad attached to your back. It's like a big sticker to your back, so you have to come really well hydrated. Then you have 3 other stickers attached to your face. 1 goes on your forehead and 2 go on the cheeks over specified areas so that we get the muscle contraction that's right for you to perform that lifting procedure. Then the procedure, we dial up the radio frequency. The radio frequency component feels like a warm heat component.
Yeah.
You guys know. You guys did it, right?
Yes.
So I turn that on first. That's very warm. Not something that's tolerable.
No, it doesn't burn or anything.
No.
It just feels like a warmth. And then secondarily, we dial up the HIFES, which is high frequency electromagnetic stimulation for the face. So there are 2 different components combined in these stickers on your face, on the forehead and the cheeks, and it's radio frequency and HIFES. Okay? The HIFES causes your muscles to contract. So what's very interesting is it can actually bypass our brain's ability to make our muscles contract. And we're directly stimulating the neurons and like the muscle units and making the muscles contract involuntarily. Yeah. And we're also, just as Emsculpt Neo does, making the muscles contract longer than they normally would without a resting phase. So it's very interesting when you see these muscle contractions happen, and as you guys know, you all giggled a bit.
Yes.
Right? Everybody was a little scared.
Yes.
Before,
Yeah, you have no idea what to expect at first. Yeah.
no idea what to expect, and then suddenly, what are you asking for?
Your face workout.
Yeah, literally.
Like, girls go to the gym to work their cheeks. We go to the gym to work our cheeks.
We're all going to be working different types of cheeks, folks.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah, it was
The cheeks of the future.
I'll be honest, I got it done. I loved it. Next day, I felt like my cheeks were higher. I felt like the muscle up here. I actually felt like my jawline started to show a little bit more. Easy procedure. It was 20 minutes long. I loved it. It's so comfortable.
Yeah.
Afterwards, you get this cooling feeling on your face, and you're like, oh, I want that feeling again.
Yeah,
you know?
want that warmth
Yeah.
again. It was weird though. It was just like, it was like kind of like going like this the whole time. I think the way that I can describe it the best is like, when you're laughing so hard and your cheeks hurt, that was literally that feeling.
I love that. That's yes.
I love that.
Yes, that's a good one. Yes.
So true.
How many treatments did you get?
I got 4 treatments. I want another one, and another one, and another one. Like you were saying, like if I go work out my chest, or if I go work out my biceps or my triceps, I don't stop after 4 sessions. I continuously do it because I want those muscles to stay strong. If the muscles in your face work the same, I don't know why I wouldn't do the same. So I've had 4 treatments. I always feel a lot better. I feel like I look youthful, the next day. I've noticed a difference. One of my really good friends who works with me got it done also. His results, he's never had Botox, never had filler, never had anything. He looked amazing. Like it turned back the hands of time on him. Like he looked younger. And he's all gung-ho about it. He always asks me, hey, when are we going in for our next face workout? So he loved it.
Is he getting a lot of comments from his peers, maybe his...
Mostly like his family, like his wife and stuff, people who see him on a regular basis, Yeah.
So 4 treatments. You said that it's supposed to be 4 treatments, but Josh wants to keep going back.
Right.
Is there like a space in between that you need to take? Or?
So that is really dependent on the person and in the age range of the person. So you're actually going to get your max results around 3 months post because you've had then time to build more collagen and elastin. So during the treatment, when that radio frequency goes to down into the dermis, then what your body is doing is your fibroblasts are actually forming new collagen and elastin as the old parts of the collagen and elastin are denatured. And that takes place up to 3 months post. Now, if you want to keep going and you want to keep making your muscles stronger per se, adding even more collagen back, say you're starting at age 60 and you've never done any treatments. You don't have much collagen and elastin, right? You might want to build even more. We are definitely going to be having a medical gym membership portion for the face. We already have one for Emsculpt Neo. For all body areas. And that will allow us to customize a treatment plan for people. The older you get, and I'll answer your question in just a second.
Got a question.
The older you get, the less your body has an ability to produce more collagen and elastin. So there's a point where it's questionable. Can people, once they get much, much older, really see the collagen and elastin build, or will it just maybe lift their muscles more? It really is going to depend on a lot of people, a lot of case studies as you get to the older range, but we do know from studies that there's less of fibroblast activity as you get older.
Oh, quick question. I know you're going to get this a lot. What if I already had filler? What if I have Botox right now? Do I need to still come in and get it? Can I get it with the stuff in my face already? Like, I'm sure that a lot of people are going to wonder that.
Well.
Uh-oh. She brought out the paper. She got the details.
I love that you asked that question. That wasn't even planned, which is funny. So I have 2 mechanism papers that are available to the general public now that this is, in general launched. But the first mechanism paper is the mechanism of EMFACE stimulation on muscle after the application of botulinum-based neurotoxin. So this is a study. First author is Dr. Sunil Chilukuri.
Shout out to you.
Yes. So this was also performed by Dr. Rob, Dr. Halas, and Dr. Kodafana. So this really showed that you can actually recruit muscle fibers even if you've had Botox. And it's very interesting because the Botox works on the neuromuscular junction. And this is also detailed, way too detailed. But I'm going to say it for those of you that really want to hear this. But when you inhibit acetylcholine release at the neuromuscular junction and prevent the muscle from contracting, EMFACE is actually working upon a different area and a different mechanism as they're proposing in this paper, direct stimulation of muscle or direct stimulation of the motor unit. So you're actually bypassing this sort of release at the neuromuscular junction per se. The short answer for you.
Yes, please give me, dumb it down for me.
2 weeks after, 2 weeks after your Botox treatment, or whatever you use, Botox Cosmetic Dysport, Xeomin, or Juvo, or the new, we'll talk about in a little bit. You can actually use do this treatment, do the EMFACE with Botox. Filler, we like you to wait for at least 3 months after your filler treatment before we perform EMFACE. And I'll be adjusting some of these protocols kind of as we go and as I see different clinical cases. You can still do microneedling with radiofrequency afterwards because the radiofrequency is covering cheeks and forehead. We're going to want to also do microneedling with radiofrequency or some sort of laser-based fractional treatment to induce collagen everywhere. So this is lifting the muscles and making them higher.
Let's just say I got filler in my cheeks and I've got Botox done and I'm on the end of it. Is there any reason why I would want to go get EMFACE first before I get my next treatment? Is there any thing where the muscles lift and it gives you better results or anything like that?
So if your muscles are lifted back into their youthful position before you add anything else, you in theory could need less of the thing that you're about to add, or you're adding it at a better position. So imagine vectors of the face, you lift the cheeks back up into the position they're supposed to be with the mid-face muscles, and now suddenly you're having actually better result. In theory, so not in theory, this is actually clinical study, but the wrinkles, the horizontal lines of the upper forehead have been diminished by over 20% in people that have been treated with this. So in theory, you might need a little bit less of a dose of Botox just in your forehead, where you would still treat your depressors, like the frown, the area where we call the 11s and the area that we call the crow's feet. And then, maybe people do a little bit less maybe in their platysmal bands, which is also an off-label Botox area. But I would say if you're brand new to aesthetics and you want to come in for something, if there are no medical contraindications, I would start with EMFACE to get your face up into that lifted position. And then I would add all the other things that I recommend, which are medical grade skincare, wrinkle relaxers, dermal fillers as needed, skin tightening, and skin resurfacing. So that's the 5-step process to hold time back.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So I'll tell you a little bit more though. Okay. So what does this machine do? It also, so because it's lifting your forehead muscle, that frontalis, we're seeing a decrease in the distance between the upper brow and the hairline. So when you measure. So those of you that have that saggy skin above your brow, it's an area we call ptosis. It happens either genetically when we're young, or it's a combination of genetic plus acquired. As we age, we get more saggy skin there. It's actually improving that area and that eye aperture and that area where people are so concerned.
At what
about
age
getting
do
the
people
surgery
start
done.
seeing that?
Some people get it in their 20s, and it's
Okay.
literally genetic, and they have a blepharoplasty early.
Okay.
Some people don't start seeing it really till their 30s to 40s, but the skin and how it ages is all dependent upon our genetics and also our environmental exposures. The toxins we put in our body, if we smoke, if we have other chemicals that we're putting into our body, and what we're doing as far as our skincare regimen, and then to increase the collagen in our skin. So number one, it's lifting the forehead.
Okay.
It's decreasing the amount of facial wrinkles that are on your forehead,
Okay.
which is very interesting, right? It's giving you
Of course, point out all his flaws or whatever.
He's only done one. We're going to do it all and show his before and afters. But it's also lifting your cheeks back up because it's targeting 3 specific muscles in the mid face and lifting that cheeks, the area of the cheeks back up, which is in intimate communication with the platysma, so you also see the lifting effect, just as you said, in your jawline. So you'll see the jawline lift, you'll see the cheek lift, and you'll see an eyebrow lift with a reduction in your wrinkles.
I think the jawline thing is awesome.
So I have a question, since Dr. Amanda Holden here, she's like a mentor to so many other nurses and practitioners from all over the country. So what would you say are the next opportunities for people that would like to get, let's say, EMFACE into their practice?
So huge opportunities for people that want to get it into their practice because once you've studied and learned the facial muscles, which as nurses, nurse practitioners, PAs, and docs, it's part of our basic study anyway, then you can easily learn how to place these applicators in an area that's right for a patient. It takes much less time to launch as a new treatment professional per se. Okay. So whether you're whatever type of medical professional you are in your particular state wanting to launch this device, you're going to be able to launch it very quickly. Whereas filler can take year, 2 years, 5 years to really master. And the margins are actually are better than the margins in the injectable market for the most part. So not only is a new practice going to have a lower cost you have the upfront cost of the machine, of course. But you're going to have better margins, you're going to have a shorter time to launch, and your patients are going to have great outcomes because I think this is now going to become something as what we should all be doing to get our faces lifted back up as a supplement to everything else.
Now,
it's not just one thing anymore.
Question for you. You may have already answered this, but I just wanted to make it clear. So if I get it done once, right? I do one procedure. Do I ever have to get it again?
So if you get it done once, you're going to still be aging every single year.
Okay.
So I would highly recommend that you get it done again and join a face gym membership.
So 4 times every time?
I would say probably 4 times once a year is what I would recommend, but it all depends on the stage of aging you're in.
Okay.
So you might be in a 20 to 30 age range and they're 30, you're just doing it once that year and you might not need it for 5 more years because you're not really seeing yourself age as quickly, but you might be 45, 50 and your aging has accelerated a lot and now you're wanting to lift and tighten your face a lot more and use combo therapies to really, as a supplement to really tighten your face and enhance your natural beauty and soften that process of aging. So it's so customized based on the individual. Just in the realm of if people ask me when should I start getting Botox, it all depends on when you start seeing a line across the areas of our muscle contraction.
Okay.
And that's different for every person. So
ask your injector then.
yeah.
Ask your injector. That's the answer.
I would say do your first round, and that's going to last you for about a year. But if people want to join the facial gym membership and add extra supplements and do it once a quarter, once every 6 months, etc., that might be the best regimen. But I can't wait to play with the protocols to really see what works best for different people.
Absolutely. And we can't wait for you guys to see it all. We're going to have a lot of live demonstration showcase.
Yes, absolutely.
The Cosmetic Lane, if you want to follow us on YouTube, Instagram, we're going to showcase a little bit of the live demonstration that we did on us and on some other influencers as well.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I'm so excited.
It's going to be massive. So it's called EMFACE the Nation. We are truly getting real with aesthetics and really trying to teach you how you can age differently than ever before. And this is now the latest FDA approved device combining high FES and radio frequency all in one treatment. One thing we didn't talk about was who is not a candidate.
Ooh,
case you're wondering.
there is somebody out there.
Who is not a
Okay.
candidate. Because there's obviously there are some people that are truly not
I
candidates.
feel like I got the answer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tell me what you think.
Because you told us when we first came in for the for our first session that we couldn't have any metal in our face. So I feel like if you have any like implants or any sort of like metal in your face, then you're not, candidate for
That is definitely a relative contraindication. What's interesting is I actually have played around with it a little bit, and I even treated my parents who both have metal in their face. They had no sensitivities.
Nice.
So it's all dependent on the clinical provider and what they're comfortable with, and if the patient's sensitive or not in that realm.
Question.
We might not treat someone with a full set of braces because it can vibrate and warm up the
would
material
never
at
do
the
that.
same
Oh,
time.
yeah.
So it just
You've
depends.
Yeah, that hurt. Yeah.
But somebody here actually volunteered to try it, so we'll tell you how it goes. I'm gonna try things that I feel that are safe from a physician's standpoint.
That you're comfortable with.
No, but we don't treat anyone with pacemakers or defibrillators. That could interfere with the electrical signal and that's the device that keeps you alive. We don't like to treat anyone with a history of a seizure disorder. Not that it's been said to cause a seizure, but let's keep any stimulus away from the face. We like to not treat anyone with autoimmune disorders, skin conditions, active skin conditions in that area. And I mean,
So,
there
like
are
acne?
other things. I wouldn't necessarily want to treat right over somebody that currently has acne.
Okay.
We want to clear that up with topicals
Okay.
and potentially microneedling with radiofrequency and then treat after that.
What if they have a skinny face? Like like some people are just really thin. Does it is there someone who it'd be too bony or something like that?
So as you remember when Sculpt Neo launched,
Yeah.
people that are the thinnest,
Okay.
you might not have the ability to get up to a high
Okay.
electromagnetic
Yeah.
impulse. So because we can dial both the radio frequency and the contractibility of that muscle, which is the high FES, up from 0 to 100, we only dial it up to your comfort level. So if there's more tissue between the external applicator and your muscle, the signal might not get to it quite as well.
Okay.
Okay? If you're really thin, the signal might get to it and you're like, wow, I can only tolerate 25%. Well, that's going to be then documented on my sheet, and I'm going to know you only get to 25% and you're good to go.
Yeah.
So if we see a full contraction, and what we're really looking for is a pull at the base of the eyebrows all the way up through the scalp and then up through the face. And that's crazy. We call it the crazy Joker smile.
Yes.
You really do feel it all the way up to your scalp. I felt it like all the way
Oh,
up to here.
yes.
It's like, who's going
It's
hard?
like nothing
Yes.
you've ever felt before.
No,
It's
no.
it's very cool.
And then I don't know. There's no other devices like this on the market, right?
Yeah, I feel like
There are certain devices that do one or the other, but
Okay.
not both together.
Okay.
Radio frequency has been around for a long time.
Yeah.
So radio frequency is absolutely something you can find. We have the Silpharm X, and that's microneedling plus radio frequency.
Okay.
There are devices that are just muscle-only devices. I don't know if they're backed by as many clinical studies as BTL has.
Yeah.
BTL actually has the most clinical studies for any devices that I've ever seen because they invest so much money into research.
Yes.
So you really want to ask before you get treatments done, what clinical studies have been done? What are the results that have been seen? Are they using cellular animal histology, like actual tissue biopsy models? Are they using CT, ultrasound, MRI? What are they using to show that this is actually working? Or are they just coming in and saying, yes, this works? Because some of these things, like, you could compare an energy device to like a TENS unit, and like Sculpt Neo is 4,000 times
The amount.
TENS unit.
Yeah.
And so someone could say, why don't I just get that? Well, it's so different, and then there are clinical studies done on all these devices. So that's what you want to always ask.
Okay.
So you know whether or not you are buying something that truly works.
okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Another question you may have answered was, can anybody get the device? Can
Ooh,
anybody actually
question.
use the device?
Yeah.
So laws are different per state. Okay, every state has a medical board in the United States, and then every country has its own rules, right? So every country has its own rules. So in the United States, every state has its own laws. So in order to purchase a device that is in California, radio frequency plus HIFES, you would have to have a medical director that is giving medical clearance and approving that sort of treatment.
Okay.
In particular, there are other states where you don't need an MD in charge of that clearance.
I love Florida.
So it all just depends on the training of the person, and you want to make sure you're trusting someone's had a proper level of education, and they're not just throwing something on you, not even knowing and proper anatomy of a face or what it truly does underneath the surface of the skin. Lots of considerations, and you're exactly right. I love that question.
Good question.
Yeah.
Cost wise,
Yeah.
is it something that everybody can afford, or do you think that, like, especially if you're pairing it with other like Botox later or filler, is it relatively expensive? Or
So there was actually a study done by Real Self, and Real Self did this study looking at how much people would be willing to spend for a treatment, and how much they're currently spending on their injectable regimens on an annual basis. And basically the average spend was anywhere from, say, $1,000 to $3,500 plus. So in terms of looking at how much people are spending on average, then price points are made by a company, and there's always something called a minimum advertised price. So BTL has a minimum advertised price, and then the providers in the office have to actually set what their price point is. So I can't speak for all the offices out there. So what I'm going to say to that question, which is beating a little bit around the bush here, is that we have to customize your pricing and your treatment plan in the office and really give you a price in the office. So you're going to have to come in for a consult to find the price. But is it affordable? Absolutely. It is affordable. I mean, if you think of how much people spend in facelifts, it's massively less expensive than a facelift. And if people are spending and getting injectables, so those that are getting injectables 4 times a year and adding a little bit of filler to their face, it's the same price.
Yeah, okay.
So if I tell you it that way, you kind of
that
get the
makes sense.
idea of like it's relatively the same price.
Yeah.
And then now it's a supplement to that. So yeah,
I like it.
question.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm excited.
EMFACE the nation.
EMFACE the nation. Yes.
Yes.
Taking over.
I'm going to be blasting so much advertisement too on my Instagram because I'm going to be doing tons of consults here in San Diego.
Yeah.
So whatever questions you have, direct it to our podcast site, direct it to me personally. I'm touring with BTL. We'll be in lots of different cities. Los Angeles. We're going to Nashville, Cleveland, Ohio, Dallas, Texas, Seattle, and then back in Huntington Beach, and then who knows what else after that. But I'm going to be talking to practices. I'm happy to always answer questions from patients too. I'm diving deep into this, and I'm doing my own clinical study here with BTL at HGB Studios. So we'll be enrolling patients, meeting a specific clinical criteria starting in October. And I am excited to share those results with you once we get to the other side of that study.
Not off topic, but a little bit. I love the way that BTL brings things out. I don't know how all the other cosmetic, companies do it, but they put on a show for you.
Yes.
They make you, they educate you. They bring the best doctors out to educate you. Like when you walk away, you feel like, all right, these guys care about their product. They do detailed studies on their product. Like they really do it well. Not only do you get to go have fun, but you also learn so much about the product, and you can tell how much they care about the product. They're sold on it. Like so. Yeah, I love the way they handle business. I love the way that they bring out new products, and I mean, I think that kind of goes why they're probably one of the top, medical device companies out there.
Absolutely. I think from a marketing standpoint, like for me, when we first got introduced to a BTL, being able to realize that, okay, well, all the main trending events that
Yeah.
were happening, they were all involved. So
Yeah.
they were a part of the Super Bowl. You know, you go to Vegas, they were
Yeah.
involved with like a partnership with Marshawn Lynch. So all of those things were able to get like their target audience. They make
Absolutely.
sure that they have an activation.
Front
So I
and
think
center.
it definitely makes
Yeah.
a difference versus other medical device company that might not necessarily care.
Yeah.
Or they're
But you
too
know, it makes
corporate.
it makes a difference. It definitely
Yeah.
makes a difference.
Yeah.
Retail specials for us because that's where we all met.
Yeah, absolutely. A year ago.
That's right.
Yeah.
We met
That's
at
right.
their, what was it, the LA conference that they had?
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
It was
Literally
the LA.
a year
At the
ago.
W
Yes,
Hollywood.
Absolutely.
So cool.
Yes.
And you make friends, you make like
many.
relationships through the power of collaboration. We can all grow together.
Absolutely.
Doing this thing.
Yeah.
So we are going to get into our last segment now with a little bit
Oh,
of
yes.
news
Yes.
by this lady over here.
It's the TMZ girl.
So
Okay.
it might be controversial.
Maybe. we'll keep it a little neutral this time around. But new neurotoxin that's actually hitting the market that just got FDA approved. They're peptide powered.
Okay.
They're called Daxxify. Have you guys heard of them?
She has. I haven't.
So apparently this
Can't
actually
even say the word.
this actually lasts between 6 to 9 months, which is actually really crazy because Botox usually most of the neurotoxins only last about 3 months.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting
2
to
for
see how
me.
it goes.
Really? Yeah.
I think I tried Botox, Dysport, Nuceiva, and all of them are pretty much lasting like 2 months and a half top. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. I mean, I guess like when you work out a lot, like the product doesn't stay as long,
Okay.
so that's the difference. But hopefully, if I try this one, it can last for me.
Yeah.
At
4
least
months.
longer,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Hopefully, who knows?
Interested to see.
Yeah.
Would you guys try something that lasts 6 to 9 months?
Dude, I am the guinea pig. I try anything new.
I
Yes.
always with the office, what I always do is I bring in that new product and I try it in about 15 to 20 people of like our very own patients and our staff. And then we see if it really works. That's always the telltale thing. Will this really work? Because honestly, I'm sure it will because it's FDA approved.
Yeah.
But what are the differences? What's the difference in the feeling? What's the difference of it? How long it takes to kick in? How long is it truly lasting in most patients?
Yeah.
And then I like to have all that knowledge before I decide if I'm going to launch it in my practice.
That's smart.
So that will be coming in due time here for us trying it out, and then I'll speak out to whether I like it or I don't like it. I do think it is a huge value add for patients because it means you get less needle pokes
Yes.
per year.
Yes, I hate those.
You have less visits per year. For an office, maybe you're actually coming in a lot as a patient per year, and you get to consolidate those visits. And it actually, as an owner of a facility, it actually gives you more capacity, more open time.
Yes.
So I'm sure it will be double the price if it's lasting double the time.
For sure.
So we have
For
to
sure.
expect that. So sometimes that mindset of like, am I paying double the amount?
Yeah.
You're only paying it twice a year. But I don't even know the price point yet.
Yeah,
So
we don't
we'll
know.
see. More to come. I can't wait.
The only thing I'm a
Yeah.
little bit concerned about is the side effects, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like some people get neurotoxins and like they deal with ptosis,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you get this and this lasts like 6 to 9 months, are you gonna walk around with like a droopy eyelid?
That is a
or, like,
very interesting question. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that piece, but that's
Yeah.
true because there is no antidote to botulinum toxin type A. So what Harmony is talking about is if we inject Botox into botulinum toxin type A, sorry, I keep having to say it that way, neurotoxin into the forehead. And now you depend on your forehead raised so much in that frontalis muscle that your eyebrows feel lower because of it. Some people can tolerate it everywhere, but others cannot. Then you have to, the only option is to wait until it wears off in order for you to get that movement back. Because it's not just going to be like, oh, it'll get, a little bit more springy in 3 to 4 weeks. So, yeah.
And the last thing is, Zac Efron has been trending, guys.
I
all
saw
over
it.
Yeah.
I
social.
saw it.
He
I
was
haven't
trending.
seen it,
So
but
he was
tell
trending
me about
last
it.
year, and it's because he was in an Earth Day video, and he looked noticeably different. His jawline was a lot bigger, and everybody kind of assumed, like, we posted it, and I know that everybody was like, what did he get done? Did he get implants? Was it filler? And he actually responded. He said that he was running at home and slipped on a sock and hit his jaw on a corner or something.
Yeah.
And basically his jaw bone was hanging off his face and that he cracked it, I guess. So now he's
Ew.
saying that his masseter works overtime and that's why his jaw looks so big.
Yeah, it looks really swole.
So yeah, I don't know. So that's his way of clearing up the rumors, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, I think if he did get something done, just come out and say I got something done.
Right?
Like, I mean, at this point, like, no one cares anymore. At least I don't. Great, you got something done. Yeah. If it helps you with your career or it just makes you feel more confident or better, great. I mean, I don't know why you would hide it. Now, is it possible that happened? Absolutely. The guy's got probably a huge house. He probably running around that's absolutely possible. But you know, if he did get something done, I wish he would have the courage or whatever just to come out and say, hey, yeah, I got this done. I thought it was going to help my career.
And I think people also respect transparency more because if you're not honest up front, and then after that, let's say we have some people that we post, I think that she might have gone to surgery, and a few months later she denies it at first, and a few months later they come back and she be like, okay, well, initially I got surgery. Yeah. So if you come back to your answer, you know, after you got exposed, like, it doesn't feel authentic. You just feel like you got exposed and now you have to come out with the truth, right? So I think being transparent from the jump is like really important, especially for celebrities.
I agree 100%.
Totally agree. Yeah. I will say though, mindset is weird because people used to just say, why are you doing it? And now they're saying, why aren't you doing it?
Absolutely.
So
I love that.
Still this lag of like, people are judgy and they're still saying, you're doing what? Like, there's still some people that say that, whereas most people are now saying like, why aren't you doing it? Like, if it's easy to do, why don't you do it? If you want to, do it.
Yeah.
You know? But there's a lot of psychology to unwrap with that one. A lot. Which would be a fun episode in itself.
Absolutely.
Well, this has been amazing.
Yes.
I've loved sharing all this information with you guys.
First episode.
Yep.
Reveal the appeal. Let's go.
So,
yes.
Super, super exciting. Our next episode, we are going to all be in Switzerland together.
Yes.
I am going to train with Julie Horn at the Swiss Aesthetics Institute. And I'll be accompanied by Katie Martin, our VP of Clinical Operations. Katie. And we are going to interview Julie for about 10 minutes about lip filler. So
I can't wait.
If you guys have any questions specifically about lips are my favorite topic. We'll be spending the entire day with her and then doing a special interview sometime throughout the day for our next podcast. Yep. Let us know your questions. We cannot wait to be with that gorgeous girl in Switzerland.
I can't wait to be in Switzerland. Yes, I can't wait to be in Switzerland. Julie Horn's a plus. Yes.
Yeah, so please send us your questions on Instagram. Whatever you need.
Yeah, we're all on social. They're going to be able to see the social are going to be all over there. So make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok.
We're everywhere.
We're everywhere.
Remember, you have one life, so look your best.
Reveal the Appeal brought to you by BTL, the makers of EmSculpt Neo and EMFACE.